And what's your competitive edge? Why do companies like, for example, ELEKS from the UAE and Lufthansa choose to work with you?
It's a good question. Because usually Ukraine had the reputation of cheap resources, which is not really the case anymore. It's more about the value companies are providing. There's always going to be somebody cheaper, somebody in India, somebody in China. We used to be in that game in the early 90s, but during a time as we were evolving as the company and developers were growing, it's not unusual to find some developers that work in IT for like 10, 15 years, and people that were working in the secret, I don't know, Samsung projects or some BlackBerry stuff. Really, really big and complicated R&D things. So when RMX, for example, came to us, they were just looking for resources. They thought that, okay, now we need a reliable hub, and there was a myth that Eastern Europe is a good location, which is not a myth anymore. It's really like that. The thing is that they realized that after having, I think 80 or 60 people they started with, we recruited and we put the teams together. Instead of them control our people and telling them what to do, they saw the capacity of the company, and now we are doing consulting for RMX, and we're doing most of their R&D projects. So we changed the cooperation from basically providing just the working hands. We changed that to the value-added services, and this is being 26 years. It's being old is not always bad, right? So it means that we have an experience that is needed for achieving good results. We know the mistakes that people are making. We have a very strong business analyst department, the UX department. Before even jumping into something huge, we're able to validate the idea and provide them legitimate explanations on why this idea can fly or not. So it's not unusual for us to work in a consulting way where we can, basically we're trying to substitute the CTO role in the big companies and just let them take care of the business and take care of the revenue, for example, and let us take care about the technology.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And maybe one last question. We at Planet Blockchain are committed to educating the community about blockchain. And I know that blockchain is only one of the areas of your expertise. You have others. Maybe you would like to mention a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so
before we move into blockchain.
Yeah, so we're able to work as one-stop shop. So we can start as small as the idea validation by creating a clickable prototype, like the UI UX prototype. This is just one of the offices that we have. And we have a POC, or the MVP development, where you have the software engineer, you have business analyst, project management. Actually, a very important thing is about the delivery in the company, where we have two delivery units. One is responsible for small and medium business, the other one is responsible for big enterprise business. So it's also very important to understand that ELEKS is likes to take responsibilities for the projects we're doing. We don't like provide responsibility only for level of developers. We like sharing risk with our clients, understanding the roadmap, creating mutual interest, and then if the customer is happy, developers are happy as well. Regarding the other offices, so as I mentioned, data science, we used to be one of top 100 best QA companies in the world. We still are, but we're not focusing as a QA company. So we have penetration testing, automated testing, manual testing, as I said, UI, UX, data science. Blockchain is a particular part of ELEKS, which we were always known as a company that likes to work with something new, like for example, like the HoloLens technology or the Apple Watch. When the Apple Watch was released, you might find this unmatchable. We were the first company in the world to connect Apple Watch and Tesla car. And there was a big news about that. It wasn't a Tesla project or Apple project, that was basically our R&D thing. So talking about blockchain, I cannot disclose names or the projects we're on, but we are one of the first that started experimenting and working on the blockchain. So far we have 6 active projects. 2 of them already have, I would say, references. We already have passed the MVP stage, so we're getting to the second seed round. Both customers are from United Kingdom. Regarding the culture of ELEKS, so we have the blockchain school. So the guy that's going to be hopefully working on your project, guys, he's the head of school at ELEKS of the blockchain. So we grow our own experts. It's called ELEKS University.
I see. And what kind of trends do you see in blockchain recently? Because you're working on so many projects.
It's very, Yeah, it's very important to understand that how to take the best advantage of the technology. Blockchain, it used to be a buzzword, like data science, for example, and I think that's going to follow the same path. Is that like I just try to make a parallel in data science because blockchain is very new technology, and so people are trying to understand what is the best way to use it. But we see the usage, because those two projects I mentioned, they are in completely different fields. One is, I think, is in the retail, the other one's in the finance. But it's amazingly how you can use that technology for adding value and creating. I mean, it's not only protection, but this whole new trend of blockchain is adding tremendous value to different projects. You just have to know the best way to use it. And I just want to get back to the data science. I was at a conference, maybe 3 years ago when I just joined ELEKS, and the data science was also like people were talking about big data, and they understood that everybody's collecting data, but they had no idea how to use it. So ELEKS was experimenting with data, and then we were able to create a path which can be used for forecasting or analyzing people's behavior, stuff like that. The same thing is happening with blockchain. When we started projects on the blockchain, there was just a small POC or the R&D stuff. After we're done 2 commercial projects, and we're in the middle of 4 more, so we're getting experience, and so we can consult you and help you understand what is the best usage of the blockchain.
Right, thank you. And I think we need to let Viktor go and enjoy the rest of the day. It's Sunday here today, and so not a working day. Thank you, Viktor, so much. Thank you again for the opportunity for firstly inviting us and giving us the opportunity to learn a bit more about the company.
I'm really glad that you guys accepted the invitation to come over, as we're trying to bring as many of our potential customers or even existing customers to the company, and I really hope that your project is going to be the next success.
Thank you, Viktor.